Welcome to Soundbite, the podcast where we talk to interesting people in the Maritimes about their stories, specialties, and insights. I'm Caitlin Dutt, one of your co-hosts.
And I'm Tim Porter. Okay, Caitlin, how you doing?
Hi, pretty good. It's a foggy morning today.
We're marching right up to Halloween.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Have you figured out your Halloween costume yet, Tim?
I better get started, right?
Yeah. Spirit Halloween, they're set up on the north side. If you want to check it out.
But didn't you tell me you had a costume, right?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about my
and
costume.
What is it?
Yeah.
Again, remind me.
So my boyfriend and I are going as Saul Goodman and Kim Wexler from
yes,
Better Call
right.
Saul. So I'm pretty happy about that.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, we're gonna make little tiny business cards.
You're gonna need a blonde wig. That's what I said.
Yeah, I'll get one. I can be platinum blonde for a day.
Yeah. All right. So who's our guest today?
So our guest today is Stephen Clark. Stephen Clark is the writer and editor of the Fredericton Word, a local Substack publication which discusses Fredericton culture, sports, and business. It recently reached 4,000 subscribers.
Okay.
Welcome,
hey, Stephen, how you doing?
Hello, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. So we're going to talk all things Fredericton.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
There's a lot to talk about lately.
Fredericton, and we'll throw New Maryland in. I actually live in New Maryland, so we'll throw New Maryland in there.
Well,
too.
we always include New Maryland, the greater Fredericton
Right.
area, GFA.
That's right.
Exactly.
Did you grow up in Fredericton, or?
Grew up in Fredericton, in
Fredericton,
Southwood Park, and, and then moved to New Maryland as a kid.
Southwood,
and then moved back there when I had a family, back to New Maryland and into the burbs. But
Wetmore Avenue, and I suppose they didn't have a school there in your day.
In New Maryland?
No, up in Southwood.
Southwood went to Old Forest Hill School.
Yeah, they had elementary schools, but they didn't have it. They didn't have the big junior high like they have now.
Right.
Yeah.
Growth.
Right. Yeah.
Not to age myself, but the school was sat on what was a dirt road back then, and a large forest. So kind of dating myself there, but
nice.
the growth in that part, all parts of town has been kind of incredible.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, people have seen it just that maybe have moved here in the last 20 years or so. They've noticed how big we've become and how multicultural we are.
Yeah, Fredericton's always growing.
Right.
And Stephen, I feel like most people, well, maybe not most people, maybe I'm also dating myself, but, way back when Twitter was actually a good place, I think you were pretty popular on there under the F word NB. Is that your... Yeah,
that was my handle. Yeah. And the F word kind of... was the precursor to the Fredericton Word newsletter.
Yeah.
But Twitter had a pretty strong following. I curated the followers I wanted. I wasn't on Twitter following U.S. politicians. I wasn't on there to follow superstars and celebrities. I made sure I was following everyone in Fredericton, whether I knew who they were or not. I tried to curate my Twitter experience to be Fredericton. And people reciprocated that. I had lots of followers. I think it's my, a bit sarcasm, a bit snarky here and there, trying to inject some humor. But Twitter was different back then. It was more of a community. They used to have tweet-ups where people would get together and socialize, things like that. So I became known as the Fredericton guy that talked about Fredericton or supported Fredericton.
So your F word's Fredericton.
My F word is Fredericton.
Just to be clear.
To be clear, and to be honest, I do not curse very much. I'm not. The F word is not really in my vocabulary.
I don't think we're allowed to swear for the first 25 minutes of this anyway.
Perfect.
11 a.m. on a Saturday on a public radio station.
So what is the Fredericton identity? I mean, what is it? Do we have one?
Fredericton identity is... I don't know if we do. It's similar to that whole what's a Canadian identity. Fredericton is or has become a multicultural city. I still think we can call it a small city, but it is possible to go years without seeing someone. Right? You can have friends that you never encounter until you're, out to a movie or something at the Playhouse, and you see someone for the first time in a couple of years. So it's big enough that you may not see people every day, but it still has a small city charm to it. It still has a downtown gathering place where a lot of businesses are, obviously the Playhouse and things like that. So a lot of the gathering happens in the center of the city. You have your suburbs, but I think Fredericton is such a multicultural city, and most of it is because of where we're sitting right now. The universities really brings a different vibe to our city, different people to our city, and I think from that, over the years, the multiculturalism has grown. Just looking around at the number of restaurants we have now, the fact is, 10 years ago, it would be hard-pressed to find Indian food in the city. Now there's 4 or 5 locations get Indian food. So I really think the multicultural aspect, the university aspect, brings a lot of culture to Fredericton. But it is hard to describe. You do have a variety of people. You have your government, you have your university, and then everything that springs off of that.
Well, I think it is reforming itself. I mean, there's a lot of change afoot, particularly as you mentioned, but the Playhouse, and they're building a new performing arts center, and they're
the Justice Building right
the
by
Justice
too.
Building, yes, and whatever we're doing with that monstrosity of a Centennial Building.
Will it ever? Will anything ever happen to it? I'm not
that
certain.
That is just a sight, and it is unreasonable to think that it's existed in that state for so long, right in the center of our city. And I mean, I worked in that building, and it was a sick building.
What do you mean by sick? Do you mean sick as in cool, or sick as in illness?
No, it was respiratory problems and the whole thing. Like, I had a lot of people had a lot of problems because of there was just too much mold in there, and they needed to gut it. And I mean, the only thing, people talk about the lobby and how nice the lobby is, with the, but I mean, it beyond that, I mean, I don't know what it is we're saving there. But what I wanted to get to, though, Stephen, is I think, when I look at the heart of the city, it must be the Boyce Farmers Market, because it's the only thing that really still exists over, I think, 50. I actually organized one of their anniversaries. I think it was the 40th or 50th.
Nice.
I'm trying to remember now what it was, but that's kind of the heart of the city, is it not?
It is 100%. I was lucky. My grandmother lived across the street from the market. So at a young age, I was allowed to wander the streets of downtown on my own in mid to late 80s. And the market then I was in awe. You'd go, and just as a kid watching people, I'm a good people watcher. You go and just see the people greeting people in the morning, because it's the same people over and over. You get to catch up. Back then, I think they called it Goofy Roofies, where you could get a coffee and breakfast. And there'd be politicians of all stripes. There'd be business leaders.
Andy
business
Scott held
people.
court there, RMP at the time.
Absolutely. And it's just, I was in awe as a kid of just how it was a gathering place. And that hasn't changed. The market tradition continues. Some of the same vendors are still there. I still get my Kurt sausage. I still get my smoothies and fresh squeezed orange juice. So a lot of the vendors are still there. And it's also an incubator for small business. A lot of things have transcended the market and moved on to bigger and better things. But I think that it's still that way today. Susan Holt goes weekly, right? And you can go see the different aspects of Fredericton, and people talk to each other like neighbors. So it's really a special place.
Yeah. Richie's Donaire. I think that's a key one too. Maybe we
The
can
samosas place.
maybe we get a sponsor from Richie's Donaire.
Maybe.
We'll just drop a whole bunch of names until we get some free stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it is kind of the heart, and of course they've expanded the Thursday night market, which I'm not as big a fan of. But
Oh, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the night market.
I think it's way too crowded, and there's not like I look at those food vendors, and there's just lines of 30 people, and I'm like, yeah.
You're like, no,
I'm
not for me.
Gonna stand there a half an hour. I don't know, yeah, but it's a little jam packed.
I don't know. I like that it brings like the energy out of the city every Thursday night in the summer.
Yeah.
There's something special about being able to experience that, and get some like relatively well-priced food from like a whole bunch of different diverse vendors, and be able to experience like the music at the same time. Now that they've got like the Officers Square all set up, plus you've got so many different local craft vendors there. I think that it's one of my favorite one of my favorite days.
I love the Thursday night market.
Okay,
I've
been outvoted.
Yeah.
Love the crowds and the vibes. The Officer Square change is a gem. It was a bit controversial, the changes to Officer Square.
Oh yeah.
For a period of time. I think it would be hard pressed to find someone that does not like what has happened to Officer Square, the events that have come in, what they've been able to do in hosting different things. The harvest experience in Officer Square was amazing this year. So I think that the Officer Square change really tied in to the night market as well, just making it a more expanded experience. Still busy and lined up, but at least it's spread it out a bit. And Fredericton Tourism probably hate me for saying this, but I would love to see a winter market in the same space.
Oh yeah.
I know
the
how
logistics would be a little bit
the
difficult.
logistics I know aren't great, but
but put in that giant like the one that Shivering Song has. They have the giant like blow up. Yeah, exactly.
We just do 5 or 6 domes. And then we're good.
Exactly. Get a winter market. See, I need something to like look forward to in the winter, other than the ice rink. I'm a big fan of the ice rink, but I need something more to look forward to in the winter, other than looking forward to the summer again.
Well, there actually is a market on Saturdays,
Well, I know that. Yeah, but it's cold.
But there is a lot of emphasis on harvest in Fredericton, but it's strange in that, like, we're on the campus right now, and the Aiken Center, when I was a teenager, was the thing. Like, all the concerts and all the big touring bands came to the Aiken Center and that sort of thing, that would come to St. John and Moncton and Halifax. And now we've kind of missed all those. We don't do those types of concerts in Fredericton because we don't have a big enough venue. We can't compete with Moncton, essentially. St. John is even, I think, losing its thing. But they do have a little better venue than ours. But what do you see as the future of live music in Fredericton?
I think regarding the Aiken Center, that's the number one thing I see on social media of people saying, what does Fredericton need? And they go, well, we need a 7,000, 8,000 seat arena so we can bring in big acts. That's never going to happen. We won't get a Quebec Major Junior team.
Why is that?
I think it's because the success of the UNB Reds, the fact that they're drawing 3,000 fans, the fact that they own the current building, it would have to be a new building, which financially I don't think is happening in the next 10 to 20 years. And then even then, you're still competing with a bigger venue in Moncton and Halifax. You have to go to 10,000, which we wouldn't be able to support here with our population, even with the surrounding areas. So So I don't think we're getting a giant venue.
Okay. So
but-
we do have that outdoor venue at Officer Square, and
Right, I
which
mean-
is smaller, but it was big enough for Alan Doyle, I guess, and
Yeah.
and Harvest, wherever they stick their tents. But
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, Moncton's only like a 2-hour drive away, so all things considered, it's not so bad. But yeah,
I think, but the future for Fredericton is finding those niche, doing some festivals, making it a destination for multiple days. Shivering Songs is probably a little bit still unknown to the local community, but people that know Shivering Songs look forward to it every year. They do a great job
Yeah.
of using smaller venues.
they do, like Wilmot Church.
Wilmot Church is a
Yeah.
gem of a venue.
Yep.
So I think it's more of that kind of experience where it's a 2 or 3 day event rather than a 1-2 hour large concert. Like Alan Doyle had 3,500 people, 4,000 people outdoors. Harvest was able to pull in over 5,000. So you know that from an outdoor venue, we can get up to 5,500, maybe 6,000 people in Officer Square alone. But the new Performing Arts Center, and you think about the CAP. Last night, the CAP won a New Brunswick Music Award for
That's right.
Best Venue.
yeah,
They are so small.
Yeah,
but
they are.
They do such a great job at bringing in, touring acts. Just they want to play at the CAP, so they stop in on their way through town.
Yeah.
Surprising how well they do for such a small
and
venue.
the support of
Yeah.
local music and the community is huge there. So
All right.
yeah.
So how about the future of the old Playhouse? What do you think?
I don't know what's possible there. I don't know if it needs to be raised. I'm sure there's asbestos. I'm really not sure the future there. It would be cool to have a downtown movie theater if
Right.
you could redo it.
That would be nice.
And extend it to the convention center, so leverage it for screens and conventions. Maybe open it up a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is attached to the convention center.
Yeah, I feel like it is prime real estate too, just right on that corner there. But
Right.
I don't know if it's like, if they wanted to renovate it. I mean, they already talked about how it was more like cheaper to build a new building, so
Right.
that's why
Yeah.
they're building that new building. But
maybe
I
they will.
don't know what'll
All
happen
right.
with it.
Are we ever going to get a pool?
We are. Looks like the YMCA may save us on the pool front. If sounds like they're going to have the support to extend their pool and build another one beside it using similar infrastructure. So that should save some money. That's a 15-year in the making quest. Sounds like it may come to fruition. So. And I am all for it. I'm all for a new performing arts center. I was all for Officer Square renewal. I'm all for a new pool. Though I love the good old days of downtown Fredericton, I am all about progress and creating new or improved venues for the community and from a tourism perspective. So we need a pool. We're a big enough city.
Yeah. Speaking about the good old days of Fredericton, Tony's Music Box actually announced that they were closing their doors after 50 years of being in business. And, this isn't the first local business that has announced that they're closing. The Abbey Urban Almanac is going online, things like that. How are you feeling right now about the state of local business in Fredericton?
Actually, I am pretty positive about local business, especially in the downtown core. Downtown has its problems. It's been well communicated about the homeless issues and things like that. I think most of the closures of the businesses are cyclical, family-owned businesses, people making decisions based on their family. I haven't heard of anyone that's closed their doors recently because of crime or anything. I believe that the George family has just decided that 50 years is a long time. They are a landmark institution. They will be missed, but I'm just excited to see what moves in there. Like from a urban almanac perspective, that was 20, 25 years for Urban Almanac. The business still exists. They're going online. The Urban Almanac space, I believe they had 5 to 10 people lined up to rent it. They were wanting retail store frontage. I think Wasted Fashion from across the street is going to move over in there. I've heard that people are already interested in the Wasted Fashion space. You mentioned the Abbey. Nomad Coffee plans on opening there, so a new type of cafe, and expect to have like longer hours and have more of a study and work vibe to it, so we can stay open a bit later. So I really don't think there's a lot of empty retail space. Things have been closing, but things are replacing it right away. The only thing I can think of that's major that's vacant downtown is the old Service New Brunswick building, and
Right.
I'm not sure that really translates well to at least retail or
That's a big space,
or
too.
even the infrastructure for having a restaurant or something inside it because of HVAC and what have you. And then the Centennial Building, as already mentioned, but I don't think there's a lot downtown that's sitting vacant from a retail perspective.
Yeah, that old Service New Brunswick building extends from King Street to Queen Street, and
Yeah.
it kind of reminds me of the old vibe you would get at Zeller's downtown, where you go in on Queen and it would pretty well extend to King, and there was even an escalator back in those days.
Really?
Yeah.
There was?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I
I
guess-
didn't know Fredericton ever had an
Well,
escalator.
it has the one at the convention center now, I guess. But,
oh, yeah, that's true.
but,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Wait, where was Zellers, though?
It was kind of right in the.
It was Service New
in the
Brunswick building, I
downtown.
think.
Yeah, right in that downtown area. Yeah.
Okay.
Zellers,
Very
Sears,
interesting.
the Met, Kelps, Creans, Levines. I was dating myself here. I'm just throwing out
All of the
old
90s.
department stores.
Lots of old clothing type stores. Yeah.
Neil's Sporting Goods.
Feldman's?
No, that's
Not Feldman's.
Oh, I guess that just proves that there's kind of just this like
Where's
continuous
Feldman's?
cycle of businesses coming in and coming out, and yeah.
Oh, there's one I'm trying to think of, but it's rattling around in the back of my head. All right, so are we coming up on the time here? So we've been talking to Stephen Clark.
Yes. He publishes his own newsletter on Substack.
Yep, it's called the Fredericton Word. You can Google it. It is a free Substack newsletter. I'm not getting filthy rich like Don McPherson is,
Right.
but it's it's just I talk about what I enjoy about the city. I talk about new business openings. I try and interview local celebrities, quote unquote, and the support from the community has been great. Like people doing interviews for me, like Tim Yerxa and Brent Stabin and Terry Sege, people I've been able to interview, and they're like the F word. Well, like they didn't even question what I was trying to do. So they've been very supportive from the start, and I'm trying to find my groove for future issues, and I have a lot lined up coming up for additional writers and things like that will help provide content, so it's
Nice.
not just me. So I think there's a few good things coming up.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's great.
All right, well, we can take a little break and continue chatting when we get back.
All right, we're back with Stephen Clark with
Yep.
the F Word Substack newsletter.
Yes.
Hi, Steve.
Hello.
So let's get down to the controversy now. Do you want to have some controversy, Caitlin? I think we should, right?
Oh, I'm ready for it.
Yeah. So this exhibition grounds.
I knew you were gonna bring up infrastructure projects, and I'm like, he's gonna eventually get to that.
Right. So, I mean, we need a new middle school with George Street. Needs to be replaced. and I don't know what we're going to do with George Street. Probably George Street will become condominiums or
Condos,
something.
yes.
Yeah, but we do need a new school, and the exhibition grounds where the track is seems to be the logical place to put it. Things seem to be rowing in that direction. Are we going to see a school there? A school, a park, housing development? You think this is going to happen, Stephen?
I do. And I think it's all of the above. I think that you need a downtown school that can certainly anchor one part of that property. I think you'll probably see a bit of even some ground floor retail maybe in that area. I mean, I'm not sure what the plans are from Tim Hortons and Williams' point of view, but I think you'll see a bit of retail. I think you'll see housing. Not all of it probably will be low-income housing, but you'll see some housing. And I'm not sure what the final plan is going forward, but there will be parkland involved. There was always talk about having green space to extend basically almost from Odell Park. You cross the street and have some green space, and you can walk all the way through to Wilmot, so kind of connecting those parks. So there's opportunities there for green space as well. I think the days of the Frex there are obviously over. I don't think it's controversial at all. I think it's something, it doesn't make sense to have an empty parking lot in a downtown.
Well, I think they were going to still retain a corner perhaps for where the Frex could go in. And you're right, it's not what it used to be. I mean, it's a 1 week carnival. A lot of people kind of like the agriculture end of it, the exhibition end of it.
The horse racing.
Well, the horse racing's kind of gone.
Yeah.
There's no real horse racing there anymore, and they store maybe 4 horses in a barn or something, and trot them out. But I mean, there's not real activity going on there.
Yeah,
and
it's not a big enough reason to
It doesn't need to be going on in downtown Fredericton. Like, whatever that activity is, they can find space. There's plenty of space in New Brunswick for horses to trot,
Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I think that the exhibition. I don't know if it's what it used to be. What do you think, Stephen?
No, it's changed. I think this year, like from the carnival point of view, I think they're only open 3 or 4 days instead. It used to be open, every day from Sunday to Sunday. I think they were down to Monday, the holiday Monday, and then they're closed on Tuesday, Wednesday. So even that aspect has changed. I mean, they talk about their mandate of agriculture. Absolutely, the mandate for promoting agriculture, et cetera, made sense in that space 100 years ago when it was surrounded by agriculture and farms.
They would bring farm animals right to the front of City Hall back 100 years ago.
Right.
That's where the market was and where the activity was back then. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just think, and that's a fine mandate to promote agriculture. It doesn't need to be. That mandate doesn't need to happen there. Where we can find, if they can find land elsewhere, as you say, lots of places to trot horses, to have barns, to have agriculture exhibits, just doesn't need to happen in downtown Fredericton.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully those changes will occur. I know City Council's being a little bullish on it, but they. But no, we did ask the mayor to come on and speak to it, but she was a little gun shy on the issue. But
maybe one of these days.
But I think we've kind of articulated their point of view in terms of the city council. I think they would like to see progress there.
Mm-hmm. It has been 30 years of people trying to develop
right
the Fredericton Exhibition Grounds, from what I understand. So
there is a little bit of controversy over the height of the apartment buildings that they might erect in that area, and whether how tall a building it would be, and I think there's that debate going on also with the development going on York Street there by the liquor store. Where there's a number of apartments going up, and
they've got to put them somewhere.
Well,
so.
it is. I mean, it's a big space there where the liquor store is between there and.
I think it's
Sobeys.
a good spot to put it. It was like there wasn't really anything going on there anyway.
Right,
like it wasn't like they developed like some like nice little park or anything. It was just kind of a dirt lot, from what I remember.
I mean, and my thing, I get a pet peeve here, Stephen.
Okay.
Is this what do you call it? A skate park. Like, this skate park, like I think it's a lovely skate park. I mean, I've got nothing against this skate park, but why did they put it there? Why is it in the downtown down by the river? I mean, why are they forcing young teenage kids to come into the downtown and skateboard there? Like, why didn't they build that out in a neighborhood where they actually live? Like, what is going on there? Tell me, Stephen.
Fredericton has a poor history of leveraging waterfront property.
Right.
Let's just plop down a 4-lane road right on the river,
right,
or highway to get on the bridge, a bridge to nowhere.
Yeah.
That's prime real estate in most cities.
To be fair, I feel like Fredericton did it better than Moncton. So.
Absolutely. So, I mean, and that's not a recent thing. Those decisions go back 30, 40 years.
And what's with that lighthouse? Like, what is going on there? Like, why do we have a lighthouse there? Like, give me a break.
Don't you know where it's actually an ocean, not a river?
Well, it is. It's something. I mean, there are little river lighthouses, but that were small little beacons. But I mean, that's not anything traditional. Like, what is that monstrosity there?
You just gotta come up with a list of all your issues in downtown.
The pet peeves.
It's growing. We really do have to get the mayor.
Yeah, you mentioned
here.
one. Yeah, you mentioned one pet peeve. Is now like 5 pet peeves. But,
although I do agree with the skateboard park. I feel like I don't want to see 14-year-old boys in my downtown. But I also used to park in that parking lot all the time for work. So.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, it just could be in a neighborhood where people live,
Yeah, but seeing Fredericton references online or even in magazines or whatever, and then they show the Fredericton Lighthouse, it's like, that's really not what we are.
Right. Yeah, that's my point. It's not historically accurate, and it's kind of a tourist thing. But I mean,
do you know why the lighthouse was built? Was it like
primarily
as a tourist just
thing?
Okay?
Yeah.
Because can people like go up there or like?
You used to be able to.
You can go into it, but I don't know if you can go up it. It's like a little building.
So I know it's just a restaurant now. Did it ever used to be anything else?
Yeah, you used to be able to go to the top. They used to have a ball pit on deck 3 or something. So it was a tourist
ball pit.
Yeah,
in the lighthouse.
Yeah, just a random ball pit on one of the floors of the lighthouse.
Okay.
So it was designed for family tourists, which would go along with the paddle boats, the Pioneer Princess paddle boat tours that you used to have there at the marina. So I believe Robin Hansen was involved in building both the river boats probably and the lighthouse.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
So it was all combined into one kind of touristy thing. You get your tickets, I think, at the lighthouse to go on the boat. And, it's changed since then, but...
Okay. I do actually have one question that I wanted to ask you as well. Just because you seem like such a source of knowledge of all things Fredericton, especially with the newsletter now that you have all of these like different stories coming in. Have you learned any like interesting Fredericton lore in the past like year and a half, 2 years of doing this?
The one thing I want to find out is the tunnel system. Supposedly there is a tunnel system from the hospital to the university, which connects into downtown underneath the playhouse and legislature. Not sure how much of that is true. I mean, I know there is a tunnel system. I don't know where it goes. I don't know if it's still accessible. Used to go into some, actually, of the older, bigger homes downtown, I believe, used to be able to connect to it. So that is a piece of lore that I'm curious about. I've seen some people send me random things. People have sent me old blueprints of at least the university piece of it. I think it has to do with their heating system. That's what the tunnels are built up here, but supposedly extends to downtown Fredericton. So maybe I'll have to do an expose and get some bolt cutters and some flashlights and go find out where these tunnels go.
I was aware that there was a tunnel like short distance between Centennial Building and the legislature.
Yeah, but it would be really difficult if you're talking about a tunnel system from like the hospital, which is at like the top of the hill, to the legislature, which is at the bottom. I'm like, there's got to be an elevator or something.
It probably. I think Steve's right. It probably has something to do with heating and where. Where those plants are up towards the top of the hill and bringing energy down. Probably has something to do with that.
Yeah. So that would be my bucket list item when I have time. This is a hobby for me, writing the newsletter, which is why sometimes it's every 3 weeks and sometimes it's 2 months before the next issue. So it is a hobby, so it kind of goes with the ebbs and flows of my schedule. That's why I'm hoping to, I have a few people that have written for me in the past and a couple more lined up. So that will take the burden off of me being the writer, editor, chief bottle washer.
So I want to turn now to religion.
Oh, gosh. Great.
A natural segue.
I mean, you think downtown Fredericton, you think all the churches, and we are losing them, we lost St. Paul's. It's now been converted, and a few of them are struggling to keep their membership up. We've got Christ Church, which is a phenomenal, building.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't see that one being gone anytime soon.
Well, you never know. Yeah. What do you think, Stephen?
It's tough. Some of the church, Wilmot has become a music venue on top of a church. I think churches will need to find alternative ways of being used, or they won't be able to afford the upkeep of these beautiful old buildings. The St. Paul's, I'm not even sure what's going to happen there, whether it's residential or going to be commercial. But it will be a struggle. Different churches are merging and using the same space, but as for the upkeep and what happens to the physical churches itself, it's going to be hard to predict. It's going to be hard to. They're old buildings, so it costs a lot for maintenance and things like that. So
they're huge.
Outside the religious aspects of it, just the operational and the upkeep of the actual buildings is costly.
Well, maybe it's something interesting to keep track of over some time. Maybe you can find a church a follower that can track this for you for your newsletter.
That's right.
There you go.
It's not me. I'm not advocating.
You're volunteering.
I'm sure there's somebody who's got some expertise in this area.
Yeah. I think one thing that we need to talk about, though, is that one bridge that trucks keep hitting. This has been the story of like the past 6 weeks in Fredericton, I feel like. Yeah. How much, like, I've seen some people say that the bridge can't take so many of the trucks just like hitting it. I've seen other people say that the bridge will be fine. I've seen other people say we gotta like rebuild this because there's no way the GPSs and like Apple Maps are ever gonna redirect trucks away from it.
Well, to begin with, why are all these trucks coming into downtown?
It's gotta be like the maps, right? The little like Apple Maps.
I know it's easier just to have a big truck come in and drop off your food or whatever to your restaurant or whatever they're doing, but maybe city council should just say you can only have this size of truck in the downtown. What do you think, Stephen?
You still need a sign for that, and they don't appear to be able to distinguish the signs. I've heard people say, you know what, we need to change the bridge. I was like, well, that's a lot of money to change a walking bridge to accommodate, 2 or 3 lost truckers a year. So the bridge is not going to change. Whether you do something before you hit the bridge, I'm sure there's some things they can do. But I don't think we should be. It's entertaining.
Maybe they should reroute the trucks.
Yes, the
Maybe
truckers
they
are
should
the
come
problem.
up with a truck route.
So it gives the city something to talk about. People get excited and post pictures, especially if you're the first one on the scene and get to take a picture and put it on social media. So no, I think just let it be. Just keep having trucks hit the bridge for people.
Keep them rolling
That's
on,
right.
rolling into that bridge.
Yeah.
Let that pizza company have their little contest.
They're just really profiting off of that engagement this past
Right.
couple weeks.
New England Pizza.
Yeah.
They're having a contest. All right. Well, okay. So Stephen's pro truck
Hitting, I want the trucks hitting the bridge.
He wants more trucks.
Let
hitting
it
that
be
bridge.
known for the record.
Yeah. Bring it on. We want more. Okay. So let's get down to the real controversy then. What about this double roundabout, Stephen? Like, are you in favor of these things? Like, I can see a single roundabout, but these double ones, it's just an accident waiting to happen.
I just find it funny that all of Europe, much of Asia have roundabouts, and then you bring them to Fredericton, and it's a controversy that needs to be talked about. 1 lane, 2 lane, 4 lanes. Like the one in Halifax, I forget what it's called. That's scary.
Well, the one uptown, they just move. I mean, I go through it every day, but they move so fast. And
I'm talking about the Smythe and like Prospect.
yeah, and they're changing
Yeah.
lanes, and they're moving fast, and it's just kind of like, do we really need a double? Like, really? I mean, I think if you could wait just another 5 seconds, you could have a single lane, and it would make some sense.
I think there's like a good way to do to make a roundabout. The one at the bottom of Smythe,
Right.
perfect. I love
Oh,
that
that's
roundabout.
a single, right?
Yes, it's
Is
amazing.
Is it a single?
I think so.
Right.
Yeah, with the extra lane for turning out, it goes
One
a single
lane.
lane and then an
But
it's got a
exit lane.
purpose.
There's no way that anybody could misinterpret which lane you're supposed to go to because it like automatically directs you
Yeah,
into the
you're right.
lane
Exactly.
that
You're
you're
right.
going. You
You're
know,
right, yeah.
the one on the top of Smythe, that's a whole different
It's a
situation.
free-for-all.
Yeah, and plus there's the highway as well being a factor. But, I mean, bigger perspective, I grew up in Moncton, which has a nightmare of a roundabout right by their mall, and I used to have to drive that all the time, and it was just like terrifying because it's a highway that's a roundabout. So I'm just glad that we don't have something like that here because
right.
I don't know if I could deal with that.
All right. So we got 2 votes against, Stephen. Where are you sitting on this one?
I think if the roundabouts were the same, so the one at Brookside, the one at Two Nations, the one downtown, and the one at the top of Smythe, they're all different. Some have one going into 2 lanes, some are 2 lanes all the way around. Brookside is 2 lanes for half of it and 1 lane for the other half. So that's what confuses drivers. So I think from a learning point of view, an experience point of view, if they are all the same, I think the drivers would be more accustomed to what to do, but they're all slightly different. So enough to confuse drivers. I'm for it, better than the stoplight. I know Brookside was bad for accidents. I think it's improved. So I'm all for change.
Yeah.
More roundabouts.
They do say that roundabouts help to stop traffic accidents, but I feel like the anxiety you get by going through a roundabout is like 3 times as much as what you would get going through like a regular traffic stop, even if
Agreed.
it does.
Yeah, I hold my breath. I like them, but I still hold my breath going through.
That's good to know.
All right. I got one more stinger for Stephen.
Okay.
One more. So north side or south side, Stephen?
Oof.
Oh wow, I probably would have 100,000 cancellation subscriptions if I picked one. I joke often that
Okay. Well, what
South Side is the best side.
what are the advantages of both? Where do you see each having something? Give them something.
So we'll give
Throw
South
them a
Side.
bone.
We'll give South
Throw
Side.
north side a bone.
We'll give South Side lovely downtown.
Right.
We'll give the North Side a great view of
Great
South
view
Side.
of that downtown.
But I live in Maryland, so I'm agnostic to this conversation.
Right, okay.
That's great. South side has a great downtown, and north side has a nice view of it. Yeah. That sums it up right there, right? Yeah. You can go to the Dairy Queen and get your peanut butter parfait and sit there in that park and look at beautiful downtown Fredericton.
That's right.
They do have that really nice parking lot right on the water where you can kind of park your car and
Yeah,
look
that's
at
what
the
I'm talking
sunset.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yes.
Pickaroons.
They do have
Pickaroons.
Yeah, I think
That's right.
that's the winning.
You got to
There
give
you
them Pickaroons.
Yeah.
That's true.
There you go. That's like the best part of the north side.
Okay.
Yeah, and the bike trails might be better on the north side
That's
than on
also
the
true.
south side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're picking them off now.
Yeah,
we're getting
exactly.
better.
I do live on the south side, so I'm biased, but I gotta admit the
Right.
north side has those two things going for it.
Yeah,
Whenever
yeah.
I ride my bike, I kind of immediately go to the north side. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course there's the Woolastook Wharf restaurant
yes,
That's great.
is a great restaurant.
That's true.
And you do
Right.
have 4 brewery. You can do a brewery tour off the bike trail, right? You can hit
That's
Pickaroons,
true.
you can hit Trailway, you can hit Half Cut, and then
York
you can do York County.
Yeah,
All off the bike, or very close to the bike trail. So
That's
yeah,
true.
maybe the north side's not so bad.
yeah. I always find it funny that they advertise that. I'm like, by the time you're getting to that 4th brewery, I'm wondering how straight the bike is going. I don't know. So, yeah, but north side's not so bad.
And we have the St. Mary's First Nations Sedunsis, which is
Of course,
right
yes.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess that reminds me, we've got to get the Fredericton's rock star, Chief Alan Polchis. He needs to come on the
Yeah.
podcast soon, right?
There we go. I think we've generated 3 or 4 names just from this one
He is-
episode.
That's
So
right.
thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, Stephen, thank you very much for coming to talk about Fredericton. I know we had a few gripes, but I think that we said some nice things here and there.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on and just
No
stating
problem.
all of your opinions for
All
us.
right.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, we look forward to reading your newsletter. It comes out pretty much every month. does
Yeah,
it not?
the next
Somewhere-
one will be mid-November. Already got some things lined up for it.
Right.
Guest writer. I'm going to talk to a local Fredericton celebrity. So look
A
mid-November.
Fredericton celebrity.
Quote unquote celebrity.
Okay,
Cool.
a mystery
Okay.
celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have had the Premier's husband.
Yes, Mr. New Brunswick.
Mr. New Brunswick has written for you in the past about his reflections of growing up in downtown Fredericton.
Absolutely. Mr.
was
Holt
good.
is a joy. He brings such a positive history of Fredericton and current Fredericton. I'm going to have to get him to write again for me because
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's great. I try to steer away from politics, like straight politics, but no problem having Mr. New Brunswick on to talk all things
Yeah.
Fredericton or Sunshine Gardens.
If you're listening to Mr. New Brunswick, you're always welcome. All right. Well, thank you very much, Stephen Clark.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Soundbite, a production of Porter O'Brien and CHSR 97.9 FM. Special thanks to our podcast host, CHSR, our sound editor, March Rojas Velasquez, as well as Adam Porter, who provided our theme music. You can find all our episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube Music under Soundbite. You can also follow and support us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Soundbite Podcast.